Okay, Jimmy, this is the blues video. So we talked about this pattern here. We're going... Right, that same pattern, back and forth, and the G is always 1. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And notice how I'm doing it kind of not like I'm hitting each note. I'm not doing this. Right, that's not the way it should sound more the way it would be sung. So la 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 la. So kind of have a nice sound. Again, you're trying your best to alternate these two fingers, and then that exact same pattern that you use here. If you do the exact same thing that you were doing, like you're doing this, right? You're doing that. If you start here on the C, then that is the typical kind of. That's often you go to the C in the blues. So then the same thing would be this. And then the two together would be this. G, C, G. So just back and forth. C, and then yeah. And so if you do have a metronome, can't recall if you said you had a metronome. If you do have a metronome, it's really good to play with the metronome, because it's what tends to happen when you learn something, and once you get it, the natural tendency is just to speed it up. But there's a musical principle that whatever you learn slow, you forget slow. Whatever you learn fast, you forget fast. So going slower, setting the metronome at a reasonable speed, maybe at around like 90 or even 100, and follow that. Let yourself do the discipline of doing it nice and slow. Pay attention to every note. Make sure that the notes, none of the notes are kind of, every once in a while they do that, make a bad noise. Try to make sure it's nice and clean, and you can best likely to catch that when you're going nice and slow. Right, and when you're following a metronome, then it'll keep you locked in. By the way, when you first use a metronome, you'll swear that it's speeding up and slowing down like crazy. That's what I first thought when I started using a metronome. It drove me nuts. It was really hard to get used to it. But then I realized that I was the one who was speeding up and slowing down. The metronome was perfect. And once I sort of accepted that unpleasant truth, I kind of submitted to the metronome, which is just the perfect timekeeping, and you want to get that perfect time locked into your head. So the more time you spend with a metronome, you'll literally have the better tempo that you'll be able to maintain. So anyway, that's basically from our lessons. Yeah, it's good for you to also continue to review E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A, etc. all the way up the neck, and then to also review the various versions of the notes. There's a G right there, there's a G right there, and then that's open G. This string here, it's open G. There's an open E right there, playing the low string. Then there's an E right there, and then any other note. There's a B there, and there's a B there, etc. Just so you become more familiar with the notes on the strings. Okay, so God bless you. We'll see you next week. Take care.